Before we begin tonight's banishment, I wanted to invite Emily and or Kat, if she's, I don't know if she's in tonight, to give us an update on the fan auction that we did last night. Emily, take it away.
John, turn off your video.
John, turn off your camera.
It always joins.
Okay, so last night we had our QI reply auction and we raised a grand total of $2,722.21. Yeah, 32 donated items, and they were all freaking amazing. There were like shrinky dink earrings that Deanna will make you, and like compliments from Shar, and a star, an actual star up in the sky from Kelsey. There were just a ton of really cool things, and it was seriously like overwhelming to see how many awesome things that this community can do and is willing to do for good stuff. And so far this season, we have raised over $4,000.
Truly insane. As far as the auction, the Quarantine Island auction that we did last night, we will be donating to different charities. So how we did it last season is just DM us if you have a charity that's close to your heart or is important, and then we'll just put all those charities in a hat and we'll pick like 5 of them or more depending on how much we want to give. So we want to spread the wealth, not just keep it to where we want it to go. So yeah, thank you so much, Emily. Appreciate it. I am now going to turn off the comments because it's banishment time. Welcome to the second individual banishment. I'm now going to bring in the member of your jury, which is just one. Micah, if you're there, please turn your camera on. There we go. Hi. You guys know the flow of this. I'm going to ask some questions. We're going to chat for a bit, and then it will be time to vote. Also, tonight will be a double banishment. So we will be having banishment, challenge into second banishment. So take that, you know, factor it in if you will. You might have your plans changed. Also, as you know, I came straight from work into this. I didn't prepare a lot of questions. So, you know, I just thought, hey, Nicholas, why don't you just take it away? Do you want to run banishment tonight?
No. I don't think any one of us wants that.
Nicholas, let's talk about that last night. How are you feeling about it today?
I mean, it's fine. I was on the bottom before. I'm on the bottom today. It wasn't.
Your name wasn't written down yesterday at all.
No, but it was like an ally went out, so it's still a target. Like I was still targeted in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And did you feel like afterwards, when you went back to Slack, you had to kind of do a little bit of like massaging to like make it better and whatnot, or were you just kind of like, listen, I had to flush some things. Things were flushed from your own original team, but
yeah. I guess like I didn't feel the need to do damage control. There were some people I talked to a little bit about stuff, but I mean, it is what it is.
Joey, your name was only written down once, yet you used an idol. What caused you to feel the need to use that?
I just didn't think the odds were very good. Like there were 10 people, 2 were safe, and it was, you know, it was odds were a couple people. So I thought I just didn't want to go home with that in my pocket. I thought, you know, might as well guarantee myself another thing. And it's like, yeah, hindsight's 2020, would have played that differently if I had more information or knew something, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Were you surprised to see Micah's name and not yours or Nicholas's name?
Yeah, I think to a certain extent. Yeah, I think that right. I think that did surprise me a little bit, yeah. But I think it wasn't like the biggest shocker. I mean.
So Katie, you were safe last night. You're one of the 2 people safe. What could be described as a little bit of a wild banishment. What are your thoughts on how the banishment went?
It seemed more like, like group discussion-y than like panel interview, I suppose. I mean, it worked out kind of how I thought it was going to, so.
Do you feel nervous tonight because you are a part of that original Flamingos numbers? You were safe last night. You've been a team captain. You have no safety around your neck tonight.
Sure, yeah.
How are you feeling?
I mean, look, at this point, I feel nervous all the time. I would say it is amplified tonight, but it is just, I'm just like at a baseline of nervous now.
Mm-hmm.
I've certainly have had people mention to me that there's like a target on my back, which, like, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Things are gonna happen the way they're gonna happen. I'm gonna try to not stress about things I can't control to the extent that I mean, I am stressing. I'm gonna try to not, but I am, but.
Sure. So, Tommy, you have immunity tonight, which on one hand, great, you're not going home tonight. But on the other hand, you had to have people loan you money, which shows who you're possibly working with. Did that just not factor in for you because you're like, I've had my name written down, I want to be safe, gonna do whatever it takes, it doesn't matter?
I just put it out there and see what would happen. And luckily people either felt that I needed to be saved or just wanted to show that they wanted to work with me. But I'm just glad I'm safe, at least for this first one.
So Jody, you are one of the people who received a hidden thing, item, whatever. How are you feeling about that? Were contestants coming up to you after being like, what was it? What is the thing? Because, you know, with the hidden item, could be good, could be bad. We don't know.
Yeah. I got some inquiries about it, but I don't know. Some things in this game you just kind of need to keep to yourself sometimes, especially when you're worried that your name is being thrown out there. So I was like kind of keeping it close to me. Why not?
Okay. Scott, you also had a hidden thing. And on top of that, your name was written down a lot last night. And had there not been that errant Joey vote, it would have been a tie. We would have gone to rocks. Were you surprised to see your name written down? Did you know that it was in the works to get you out?
Oh yeah, I mean, I felt strongly from the very beginning of this thing several weeks ago that I had become a target. So I knew if I made it to a merge situation, I can never really feel safe. And so I think observing what was happening, I kind of knew my name would be out there, but it still stings once you see it, because you start to second guess everything you've heard all day.
And why
but it wasn't a surprise.
Why do you think you are such a target? Why was there this narrative of post-merge, Scott is a threat, Scott is a challenge, we need to get him out?
I mean, the social challenge the very first night, and then Molly calling me a weasel, which is like part funny, part a moniker that I can't really escape anymore. So yeah, I just knew there's not a ton of reasons to vote out anybody, like we talked about the whole time. Like, people are cool, so I knew I would carry those for a while.
Okay. Joanna, were you surprised to see how the votes went last night? Did things go according to a plan you had?
Nothing surprises me in this game. Nothing should surprise anyone in this game.
That's it? No elaboration? Oh, Joanna. Okay, great. I'm just
Can I say something really quickly?
Yes.
You've got my husband saying, "Oh, Joanna," to me. Like, when I do something, it's not, "Oh, Joanna." I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Well, I mean, I have to say, this season feels particularly like people are really willing to talk at Banishment. People are really willing to lay things out there and say stuff. But with you, you don't want to give me an inch. And so, of course, I'm going to say, "Oh, Joanna," because you're just holding all your cards so tightly.
Oh, Kelsey.
Okay, great. So, Keith, you didn't try to win a single auction item last night. What happened?
Like, quite honestly, okay, I feel like I got kind of frazzled by how the vote went yesterday, and like rightfully so. I feel like I tried to make a move. It didn't obviously work, but that's part of the game. You have to have highs and lows. But after that, like, to have a challenge right after a banishment that you're kind of like left on the outs of is kind of like, can I breathe for a second? And so I kind of got frazzled. So I was like, let me just take a step back. Let me not do this auction. Let me gather myself mentally. I was like, so the auction was not for me at that moment. Had it been done like today, would have been a different story, but I didn't have time to think, didn't have time to gather myself. So I was like, let me breathe for a second.
And were you also not wanting to, because you said you were on the outs, or you felt you were on the outs, you didn't want to contribute to people winning various items because you didn't know where they
I was too frazzled with that. Like, I was kind of like tuning everybody, this little Zoom chat out. I was like, I need a second for me.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm just like, to do stuff right after a banishment, that's a lot. That's a lot. Unless like, you know, you're like on the end of everything, then like I can see like, okay, you have a second. But I needed time for me, so I tuned everything out. I honestly don't even know I can't even remember what was going on at the auction.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you know, me personally, I'm not in feedback mode right now, so I'm not gonna take the note that you said about doing challenges after banishments, but thank you so much for that. No, I'm totally kidding. So Erica, you know, Nick threw out a lot of stuff last night. How do you feel not being Nick? I'm asking someone else who wasn't him after that, because his name wasn't written down once last night, but he was throwing a lot of information on the table.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone uses that chess analogy, although I've never played chess, so can't really speak to it, but it's always a matter of, you know, how far ahead are you planning? Are you one step ahead? Are you 2 steps ahead? Are you 5 steps ahead and can somehow predict everything? So, yeah, I mean, it's just like, it was great to get that out there, because sometimes you gotta shake that coconut tree and see what falls out. And unless someone is a catalyst for things like that, you know, that's how you get surprising bits of coconut.
Okay, so
I'm like blacking out right now.
Okay, that's not the first time I've heard that. Ashley Cook famously, season 2, blacked out during a vote, sent me the wrong name, and then everyone was like, who voted for this person? It was very fun. Go back on YouTube and watch it. Tommy, so I wanna ask you also, because you had like a little speech there at the end about perception. Was that directed towards anyone in particular, or just like the group as a whole?
To be honest, I have a shorter temper than I think I did, and I just wasn't able to hold back, and that's kind of what happened. It's a general statement for this game in general. That I used the word general twice, but it is a general statement in this game, and it is a reminder to everyone, and also a reminder to myself. But I do apologize if I made if I offended anybody.
I have to ask why you felt it was necessary to say.
I really just lost my temper a little bit.
Okay.
It was really just bottling up, and then I just like, it just happened.
Okay. Nicholas, I want to go back to it, because what you said yesterday, or what you were saying yesterday, because yes, you were laying a lot of stuff out there, but also one can argue with this game, like if you're on the, I'm just throwing it, I don't know if you were, but if you're on the bottom, like, you got to respect someone who's trying to make moves, trying to make things happen, trying to switch up the game. Like, I think the challenge with this game, we talk about it every season, there's not $1 million, so people don't want to like get their hands dirty. And then we see a lot of final banishments where people maybe don't want to give a vote because they feel like, well, you guys just got to be in the numbers the whole time. You didn't make these big moves or different things like that. So how are you feeling like the perception is of what you did yesterday? Because I could totally argue that you opened up the game, you changed the game, you're helping. I mean, I feel like whenever you watch Survivor, they're always like, work with someone who's on the bottom, because that's, you know, they'll be in your pocket to work with you. But how are you feeling that the perception is of you from yesterday's banishment?
Right. So, you know, like I said, I felt like I was on the bottom. So why not take a big swing? Why not get people thinking? And if I at least got any of these guys who aren't really working with me thinking, that's something. And maybe we can have a door open to work together, because, if the status quo is we're going to get rid of another royal and we have a double banishment and it's another royal, you're losing opportunities to gun for your people, like the people are probably going to win this game. So I think from the looks of what today was, people didn't really talk to me again. So what does that mean? Probably going to see my name tonight. I'm very curious how the rest of this merge will go, because I think what is happening is people are getting comfortable in their numbers. But again, only 6 more votes. After tonight, only 4.
Also, what happens when you get down to your big voting block and then the one person you want to vote out wins immunity?
Yep.
I don't know if people are thinking about that. I don't know. Scott, I do want to ask, because it is a double banishment, is that changing or affecting your plans at all? I mean, you do have to think about, I need to make it to the second thing. Not only I need to make it, but then I need to have a plan in place and I need to have the numbers.
Honestly, I'm mostly thinking about the challenge in between, and how well I could do at that if I make it through the first vote. And then I think that will really dictate who then feels safe in the second one.
Sorry, explain that again to me. I need to process that one again.
I mean, I'm taking each vote as it comes.
Okay, so not planning ahead for
So
that.
I'm mostly thinking, like, if I can get through this, what is the challenge going to be to make me safe in the second one?
Okay. Joanna, is double banishment for you affecting your game plans at all? Or are you doing similarly where it's like, let's just get through this, take it as it comes?
I take this whole game as it comes, but I mean, I am, it's a scary game, guys. I mean, is anybody else having weird dreams? Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Yeah, weird dreams are a symptom of this game. I apologize for that. Joey, Micah went home yesterday, which is, there have been just like, it's been a slow OG Royals drop off. Are you also feeling nervous that tonight might be your night, especially because you did play an idol?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it could be my night because just OG Royals and just and I think the other, maybe Old Flamingos, Old Buns would think that's just an easier vote to get behind. I don't think it's because I played the idol, though. I think that it's not like that was like a cool resume builder by like not really like great playing of an idol, but I do think it would be more just because of it being easier vote for people. Just like Nicholas said, right? Like, being on the bottom. I'm open, so I'm hanging in there. Well, we'll see.
So Jody, an interesting thing that is developing in this game is it very much seems like Flamingos versus Royals, OG Flamingos versus Royals. How come the Buns are just kind of skating by unnoticed?
I don't know, because I've been thinking about that too. Kind of like Nicholas was saying that, the OG Flamingos have this number, but today my inbox was just empty and just there wasn't much communication on that end. And I don't know. I feel like if something was really happening, like they said it was happening, then maybe I would be informed about it, because I don't know. I am an OG Teal, and I feel like people have kind of viewed me in this game as like kind of a non-entity in a way. And like, sometimes that's good, but at the same time, it's kind of freaky, and I don't know where I stand a lot of the time. So I'm always open to things, but I guess I'm not the one always poking my head out there. So yeah.
Thank you for that visual aid. It did catch me off guard. I was not prepared for it. Erica, that is an interesting thing that Jody brings up, is the individual versus like if you have a second, you have a number one, right? Like it's great to have that, but also that can be challenging to maneuver because you have to factor in that other person, and decisions you make affects them. Do you feel like you prefer one way or another?
Well, I did pick the one person who's told everyone that they were their number one, so I mean, it's a constantly shifting game, and it's kind of like, how do you move all of the levers? And, you know, so much can happen in a day, and it's all about, okay, you know, you're my number one. Heard that a lot from someone, but I think it's, you take it day by day, and it really is a matter of how much are you feeding your plants. Because if you're not watering or feeding your plants, sorry, my brain is frazzled. If you're not watering your plants on a daily basis, then that plant is just gonna die. So, you know, that factors into the game too, of how much are you giving in return for what you're getting.
Sure. So,
Can I add
yes.
to that?
Oh, please. Sorry, I'm going to give it to my co-host, Nicholas. Take it away.
I think that's like Erica bringing that up actually is like a really good analogy to this, because like watering your plants is like reaching out to people, talking to people, establishing relationships, making sure that trust is still there. And it's really, sorry, that's my roommate in the background. It's really interesting, like how many people just don't talk to me. And when I even reach out for like just small talk, they don't continue the conversation. And
I said hi to you today.
you did.
Yeah, and you never responded back to me.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, the last message that we had, you never responded back to me.
Did I really not?
You really did.
No, I did. There's a message right there. I just looked at it.
What did you like send that like 5 minutes before we got on? Like
2:27 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
really? I'm
Yeah.
like, where's Nicholas? Anyway.
I wanted to talk to you more today. Truly, that's why I reached out to you this morning. But I wasn't even actually singling you out, Joanna. Like, there's other people that, yeah.
I want to have fun too, though.
That's cool. I like that.
Keith, did you feel like you were being iced out at all today, or were you still a part of the conversations?
I feel like my phone has been pretty silent today. And like honestly, there's good parts of that too, because like, okay, you can take a step back from the game, you can go get food from restaurants, you can watch Big Brother live feeds and not worry about anything. Like obviously at the back of my head, I'm like, okay, it could really be me tonight. But I've reached a point where I'm like, you know what? Let's take it second by second. If it's me, that is okay. I would rather it not be me. But I feel like I'm in a position right now where I'm trying to regain trust with certain people. So I'm like, I get why my phone is going to be more silent based off of what happened with yesterday. So I'm really trusting in the relatively few conversations that I've had today and hoping to rebuild that from there. So yes, my phone has been silent, and for good reason. I'm hoping it won't stay that way. We'll see.
So I kind of want to touch on that and something Erica was saying about like the alliances. Tommy, I'm going to ask you. I think that another of the many challenges to this game, but is if you aren't an alliance, deciding who to vote for, because you might as an individual not click with someone, right? Or just not jive with them. You just like, it's not there, but the alliance as a whole wants to go in a different direction. How do you navigate that? Because it's like you want to remain true to yourself and play your game, but you also don't want to flip on your group or anything like that.
What makes this game so challenging is that we're all the main character of our own story. And that's something I have to consider. I'm not the only one playing this game. And so while something may be good for my game, that's not necessarily good for someone else's game. And there's no way I can convince someone of that. You know what I mean? So that's something I have to consider.
So if someone though in your alliance group did something individually, can you forgive? Or are you saying, I can't forgive, you did a thing and now we're done?
Oh, for sure. Because there's always going to be a communication if it's open there, but like is an understanding of obviously someone may not trust someone else and that doesn't make sense for them to make that move. And that's totally okay. And I understand that. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Joey, how concerned are you based on yesterday's auction of other things floating amongst the contestants?
I think, yeah, a little bit of that. There's like the previous advantages. There's a lot of stuff floating around. So tonight is, I think, another night where a lot of people don't feel secure about what anything's gonna happen.
Okay, so with that, it is time to vote. When I say your name, you're going to Slack me directly with who you'd like to vote for. Tommy, please Slack me. Keith, please Slack me. Jody, please Slack me. Katie, please Slack me. Erica, please Slack me. Scott, did I already say you? Scott, Slack me. Joey, please Slack. Nicholas, please Slack me. Joanna, please Slack me. Okay, I'm going to count the vote. Okay, before I read the votes, does anyone have an idol that they would like to play? Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys to take out your phones, turn your lights on. Okay, when I read the votes, the decision is final. That person's corn time will be up and they will be banished. First vote is Keith, that's 1 vote Keith. Second vote is Nicholas, that's 1 vote Nicholas, 1 vote Keith. Next vote is Scott. That's 1 for Keith, 1 for Nicholas, 1 for Scott. Another vote for Keith. That's 2 for Keith, 1 for Nicholas, 1 for Scott. Nicholas, 2 for Keith, 2 for Nicholas, 1 for Scott. Scott, 2 for Keith, 2 for Nicholas, 2 for Scott. Keith, 3 for Keith, 2 for Nicholas, 2 for Scott. Scott, 3 for Keith, 3 for Scott. Keith, 4 for Keith, 3 for Scott, 2 for Nicholas. And we have a tie, Scott. So we are going to a revote. Keith and Scott cannot vote. You are going to Slack me directly when I say your name with who you'd like to vote for. You can only vote for Keith and Scott. If we reach a second tie, we will go to rocks. And if we go to rocks, Keith, Scott, and Tommy will be safe. Everyone else will be at risk. Okay, do you guys want a minute?
Vote between?
Why not?
What'd you say, Joanna?
Sorry, who's the vote between?
It's between Keith
and
or
Scott.
Scott. That's who you're voting for.
Guys, we're going to a double banishment. Now's the time.
Time for what?
Take out Scott.
For why though? Literally for
Because
why?
you're going to win the game if you get to the end.
Not with people like you on the jury.
Listen, I'm not going to sway. I would actually probably vote for you. That's the kind of game you're playing.
I'm not
I'm
doing
You guys, it's up to you. I think you're going to have the numbers regardless of what you want to do. But I'm telling you, the move is Scott, I think.
I've been really straightforward with everybody. I'll state my case, but no hard feelings either way.
Keith, do you want to say anything before I go to the revote? You're muted, you're muted.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, now I can. Say it again.
Oh, I would say, are people still voting?
No, I haven't started the revote.
Oh, I mean, I'm just gonna plead my case. Like, I haven't won immunities. Like, based on my televised season, I'm not going to be immune. So I will say that as part of my argument. And I've told people like, okay, yeah, I lost the trust yesterday. But I did, and I love Scott. I love everybody here, like personally. It's just that like we have not. He is the only person that has like I have not, and it's a two-way street. Like we haven't talked the game. So that was my only proposition as for why this is happening. So I will say game-wise, I'm probably not going to win immunity. So this can come the next vote. Like, when is this opportunity going to come, like, again? So I guess that's my argument for why that should be the case. And, like, obviously, Scott probably has people that are working with him and feel close with him. But I would also ask you to look at your position with what you have with Scott. Like, are you going to be bottom tier in that? You know what I mean? I spent this entire game thus far basically being on the bottom of stuff. So there's always going to be an opportunity to get me out. That's just from my standpoint. When will you have this chance again? Will you have this chance again?
Sorry, Keith. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just didn't know if anyone wanted to just say where they were at right now. Just be transparent so that the 8 of us don't go to rocks. Like, we might as well make, like, if it's going to be 4-4, just like, should we just say it right now? Like, can we just figure it out?
Wait, isn't there only, okay.
There's
so
7 people
there's only
voting.
7 people, so it's not going to be a tie and it's not going to go to rocks.
How many votes were there, Kelsey?
Wait, can I say one more thing?
If there was 9 of us and then 2 people can't vote, there's only going to be 7, so it's not going to go to rocks.
Okay, cool. I did read 10 votes, just so you know. I did read 10 votes.
Okay. One more thing, and this is not an argument for me. I don't know if Joanna's still there. I'm hoping that what we have for like the greater cause, like regardless of how this shakes out, like even if I do go, I just do ask that we like respect that. And that's just like a one-on-one thing. I don't even know if she's there anymore.
I'm nervous that she's, producers, will you text Joanna? I'm gonna begin the vote. Fortunately, I end with her. Tommy, please.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, great. Tommy, slack me your vote, please. Jody, please slack me your vote. Katie, please slack me your vote. Erica, please slack me your vote. Joey, please slack me your vote. Nicholas, please slack me your vote. Joanna, please slack me your vote. Okay, I'm going to count the votes. Okay, first vote, Keith. That's 1 for Keith. Second vote, Scott. That's 1 for Scott, 1 for Keith. Next vote, Keith. That's 2 for Keith, 1 for Scott. Next vote, Scott. That's 2 for Keith, 2 for Scott. Next vote, Keith. That's 3 for Keith, 2 for Scott. Next vote, Scott. That's 3 for Keith, 3 for Scott. Next vote is Keith. That's 4 for Keith, 3 for Scott. We're at a tie against Scott. We're going rocks. So Keith and Scott and Tommy cannot go home. Everyone else is at risk for going home. Carter, do you have your rocks by any chance?
I do. I'm getting them set up currently.
Okay, great. So what I'm going to ask is that Tommy, Keith, and Scott turn their videos off. I'm going to write down the order that I see you in my Zoom. That is the order we will pull rocks from. Oh, hold on.
Give me 1 more minute.
Yep. Okay, great.
Good luck, guys.
Okay, so once Carter turns on his camera, he's going to show the rocks. I'm going to say your name. You get to choose which rock. Carter will then flip the rock over, and that will reveal your fate. Okay.
Thank you, Erica.
Carter?
Mentally, I'm here.
Oh, we need 6 rocks, yes?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. You can really hear those rocks getting set up.
Just adds to the vibe, the feel, you know?
Cool.
Okay.
Turn your video on when you can, Carter. Yes, okay, great. We're gonna begin with Joey. Joey, please choose your rock.
Is there a way that I should describe it?
Yeah, top. Oh yeah, or that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'll pick rock number 4.
Rock number 4, please. Yep, that one.
You're good.
You're safe. Please turn your video off. Okay, Nicholas.
Oh God. I'm gonna go with rock number 5.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Nicholas. You have been banished from Quarantine Island. Oh my God. I have stuff I want to say, but do you have stuff you want to say first?
Yeah. Guys, exciting, right? That was so fun. You know, I had a little secret slogan when I came into this game, and it was I wanted to play with Big Nick energy. And I think I did that. I think I honored that. I just hope you guys, I'm gonna be on the jury. Keep this up, play with the same energy, because I want a winner who is gonna fucking fight. I wanna see that so bad. So I'm okay with going out on a rock because it was a chance to take out somebody I thought was a threat. can you guys please do that too? Please honor this season. Do that. And also, I have this here, so I just want to also say,
Prince.
I'm so glad I'm joining the alumni and gonna be friends with all you guys. And my time with the Royals was really, really special. And I really love those guys. And this has just been such a great experience. And I'm excited to see, be a part of this community. And Kelsey and producers, thank you guys so much for doing this. You guys care, and it is so good what you guys are doing, and I love it, and it's been an honor.
Nick, it has been so much fun for me to have you be a part of this team. Truly the best television. I love it. No, but really, we always want players to come in, shake it up, really play the game. You totally did that, and it was so much fun to watch you play, and it was so much fun to watch you take part in it. And we're excited to have you join the jury. So I'm going to now ask that Nicholas and Micah turn their videos off. We're going to go into our challenge before we go into our next banishment. Okay. So Joanna, you bid on the double-edged sword, right? Yes. Okay. So today's challenge, hold on, let me get it ready. Okay, it's an oldie but a goodie. We are gonna play Name That Thing. Name That Thing, where it's images and it's a category, you're trying to figure out what the word is. However, we're gonna play it a little differently today. So what's gonna happen is Joanna is going to pick teams. You're going to be on 2 teams of 4. The losing teams are the 4 people at risk for going home. The team that wins, none of them can be voted off tonight. So Joanna, you do have, it's exciting to pick who's on your team, but also think wisely, because if you lose, you want to be able to have someone to vote off. Let me explain a little bit more of how this will work. Basically, you guys will have your teams of 4. It's all going to be verbal for Name That Thing. So if you think you know what it is, we're going to come up with a sound. You'll raise your hand. You'll say it. If you get the answer wrong, your team loses a point. Yeah, big stakes tonight. So, but if someone else on your team right after gets it, you regain that point. You're back to 0. So you want to think carefully before you say your answer. There will be no slacking to collaboration. It's all it's individual but team at the same time. Yes, I see what Maddie wrote. Everyone will vote. All 8 of you will vote, but only 4 are at risk for going home. Is that what it was, Becca?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Joanna, I'm gonna have you pick teams now before I go a little bit more into how this game will work. So who would you like on your team?
Katie? Erica?
Okay.
Scott?
Okay, and so the other team will be Joey, Jody, Keith, and Tommy. Okay, I'm gonna show a little example of how this game, what it will look like before we get started, and I'll answer any questions that you guys have. Okay, so Name That Thing. There will be different categories. Here is a lovely example. Wait, let me get it to resume. Okay, what do we think this would be? The first thing is cotton, then it's candy. Cotton candy would be the answer. Okay, so it's just going to be like that, and we'll tell you what the category is going to be. Do you guys have questions? Okay, yes. Also, Becca wants me to remind you that you can't answer until I call on you, so don't blurt it out. That's not going to help you out at all. Also, what would be great is if Becca, I think you should just decide what their buzz sounds are going to be. I think that's going to be the easiest. Would you like to come on and decide their sounds, Becca?
Sure. Am I on the camera? Because I can't even see.
You are on camera.
Sure. So, I guess for Joanna's team,
yep.
I think that they'll have to flap their wings and go bark. Um,
Okay, so balk and raise your hand.
okay, bark and raise their hand.
Yeah.
And I think, okay, so are both teams raising their hands? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I want a visual raised hands. And then Joey's team, no, you don't have to do the arms, just the sound and the raise your hand. And then what's Joey's team gonna do, sound-wise?
Go, girl.
Okay, they're gonna go girl, girl. Okay, great. So we have our sounds. Thank you, Becca Barish. Incredible as always. Katie, you have a question, yes.
Just wanted to know if I can go pee real quick.
Go pee, and I'm gonna say the teams again. So team one is Joanna, Katie, Erica, Scott. Your buzz sound is Bach and a hand raise. Second team is Joey, Jody, Keith, and Tommy, and your buzzword is girl. And then you go like that. And then once I call on you, you can make your guess. Yes, Keith.
Okay, so wait. Okay, so a sound is gonna play. My bad, this is a lot. So a sound is gonna play, and we have to guess what that sound is.
No,
right?
no, I'm gonna show a picture. I'm showing like this, the pictures, and you have to figure out what word it is. Like, say the category had been Halloween, and then this was the picture you saw, it was cotton candy. We're also gonna do like, I'll just say the first round. The first round is songs. So we'll put pictures and you're trying to figure out what the song name is.
Okay. And when to raise our hand, we have to say the sound that we were given. So like I'll say girl and raise my
And I'll
hand.
like Keith, and then you can tell me your guess.
Okay.
Any other questions before we begin?
Girl.
Okay, great. Let's get into our first one. First one, round one is going to be songs. Round one is songs. And here is our first image.
Bach?
Scott?
Is it Super Trooper?
That is correct. Your team has gotten a point. The answer was Super Trooper. Okay, here we go to our next one. Next one.
Bach?
Girl.
Scott?
Is it Ocean Eyes?
It is Ocean Eyes. 2 points for Joanna's team. We're going to our next one.
Girl.
Joey.
The Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
That is correct. 1 point for Joey's team. Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Here we go. Next one.
Bach.
Girl.
I heard Scott first.
Lady Marmalade.
Yes, that is correct. 3 points for Joanna's team. Next one.
Bach?
Katie?
Is it Run the Jewels?
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
Is that even the, is that the, oh, that's the name of the song.
Yeah,
That
okay,
was
next one, next one.
This is wrong. This is wrong. Hold on one second.
Wait, how's this wrong?
Never mind.
One was cut from the draft we sent you.
Is it? Can I just answer it anyway?
Yeah.
Can I?
Marissa?
I don't know what you're using because in the PowerPoint I have, this is not there.
Okay, well, let's pause. And yes, Joanna, you get to guess.
I mean, can I guess?
Yeah, you can guess for just funsies.
Is it New York Skyscraper?
No, it was the new workout plan by Kanye West.
By
But
Kanye.
you know what?
Oh, that's a good
Marissa, can you drop it
Mine
again
is.
in the Slack?
I just texted it to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's even better. Let me get to where we were. My sincerest apologies. Was Run the Jewels also cut, I bet?
No, that was there. Can you text me the next one you see so we can confirm?
Yes, give me 1 second
Thank you.
to load this.
Sorry. Not. Who knows what happened? But that was fun.
Okay, hold on. This is
Come on, team girl. We're gonna make a comeback.
Girl.
Girl, we are getting a
Girl.
comeback.
Girl.
Birds don't exist.
It's technically
Birds aren't
true.
real.
Okay, hold on. This is taking a second. Presenter view.
People want to rename themselves to either say girl or Bach next to your name. That would be helpful for
Oh,
viewers.
that would be super
Yeah,
helpful.
that'd be great.
Yeah, team chicken or team girl. Okay.
You, with the you.
Let's see. Okay, Marissa, I'm going.
I like how we have like a bunch of I's, a U, and an O. Like it's a fun variety.
Girl.
Okay, I think we're good to go. Let me.
That's right.
Yep. Great. Okay, great. So next one. Here we go. I'll give 15 more seconds. If neither team gets it, neither team gets
Oh,
it.
Bach?
Scott?
Is it single ladies?
It is single ladies. Single ladies.
Ding L.
L.
Oh.
L.
Okay, here comes the next one.
Oh, Bach.
Katie.
Penny Lane.
Yep, that is correct. Next one. Where did Keith go?
He said his laptop died.
Oh,
Oh, girl.
Yep.
Is it Hot Girl Summer?
It is. I would just.
By that I mean Hot Girl Summer.
Okay. Here we go into round 2. Fall.
Oh my gosh.
I love fall.
Fall.
Tommy, you got this. Tommy, you got the fall.
It's true. Tommy does love fall.
So these aren't songs anymore?
Correct.
Oh, Bach. The corn maze.
It is corn maze.
What?
Okay.
Billy Mays.
Billy Mays.
Okay, next one. Here we go.
Rip.
Pictures.
This is a hard one.
Oh, girl.
Oh, Bach. Oh,
Girl. Carving jack-o'-lanterns.
Yes, that is correct. Hi, welcome back, Keith.
so close.
I'll wait 1 second, a courtesy. Can you hear us, Keith? No, we
Some of
can't.
the round.
Yo, nothing? You can't hear me?
Now I can. Okay, we're in the second round, so just, stay tuned.
What's the category?
It's fall stuff now, and it's not songs anymore. It's fall stuff.
Score is 7-3. We're in fall stuff. Here's the next one.
Ding.
Girl.
Joey?
It's apple picking.
You didn't do the right sound, Scott. You said bing.
And then Bach.
Yeah,
heard
Joey
Bach
beat you
first.
to it.
Good job, Joey.
Okay, next one.
Ooh.
Gonna give 10 more seconds. Okay, I'm gonna reveal what it is. Fantasy football, because fantasy football. Yeah, I know.
Erica loved that one. I mean, Katie, sorry. That was so funny.
Girl,
Joey?
is it raking leaves?
I think it is. It's hard for me to see. Yes, it is.
Oh my God, how did you
These
get
are
that?
so funny.
How do you do this?
The King of Staten Island. Okay, next one. Here we go.
I don't know what country that is.
Bach?
Scott?
Is it preparing turkey?
It is preparing turkey.
Oh, that's turkey.
Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Preparing turkey. Here we go.
Oh, fuck.
Katie?
Is it warm apple cider?
I think yes. Warm apple cider it is.
What?
Okay. Next one. This
Girl.
Joey, is this a real one, Marissa?
It's not really real. It's kind of real.
Am I giving a point?
No.
Okay. Fucking vote.
Yeah,
Fucking vote. Please
Okay.
vote.
Double
Make sure
check.
you know where you're
What if we give
registered.
both
Make
teams
sure you
points?
get.
What if we give both teams points on that one?
Okay, great. I'll give both teams a point. So Joanna's team has 10, Joey's team has 6.
I feel like only if you're registered to vote. Like, make sure you've done it, and then you can get a point, right?
Are you,
I was just kidding. I'm just
okay.
Everyone pull up proof.
kidding. Pull up your registration. I just want to pull your proof.
Okay.
Not easy, though. Okay.
Round 3 is going to be TV shows. TV
How many,
shows.
Kelsey, how many rounds are there?
There are 4 rounds. Okay, here we go.
Girl,
Joey?
Lovecraft Country.
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay, next one.
Oh, fuck.
Katie?
Stranger Things.
That is correct.
Also, I keep forgetting to. The wings are just faster for me.
Okay, next one.
Fuck.
Girl.
Katie?
Chewing gum.
Yep, correct. Next one.
Oh, girl. Santa Clarita Diet?
Wow.
That's correct.
Nice. Damn.
Okay, next one.
Bach.
I'm going to give it to Erica, even though you're on the same team, but I saw and visualed her first.
Project Runway.
Correct. Okay, next one.
I don't know who these people are, Kelsey.
Oh, Bach.
Katie?
It's the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Correct. Okay, next one.
Bach.
Scott?
Vanderpump Rules.
Yes, that is correct. Next one.
Girl,
Joey?
6 Feet Under.
Correct. Round 4, final round, locations. Locations. We are at 15 for Joanna's team, 9 for Joey's team. Here we go.
Girl.
Tommy.
Oh, Amsterdam.
Yep. That
Oh
is-
my god. Oh,
Oh wait, no!
oh,
That's wrong! I was
It's right. It's right. It's right. We're just assholes.
oh my god.
Amsterdam.
Hamster Falls, Idaho.
okay.
Duh.
Sorry.
Hey, look, there's a place in Ontario called Balls Falls. So
Okay, next one.
So was it right?
We
was
get it.
right.
Bach,
Scott?
Timbuktu.
I think that's right. Timbuktu,
Tiny-
that is right.
tiny
Also,
Timbuktu.
Tommy, you did get Amsterdam, by the way. You got that.
Okay, thank
Right,
you.
you got the point.
I got okay, good. Thank you.
Next one.
Oh my goodness.
Girl.
Joey?
Agnesaki.
Is that right, Marissa? I'm so sorry. I have very bad eyes and I
Girl.
can't see in the presenter view.
Can he say it again? I want to hear his answer.
Oh,
You have to
God.
say it now.
I said Agnosaki.
I have to say that's not correct.
Girl.
Tommy?
Nagasaki?
Oh, right.
That's right. Wait,
No,
so that brings you back to neutral.
Okay, so we get our point back.
You
know,
get 0. You get no points for it.
Okay, but we didn't lose a point.
correct.
You lose a point.
Yeah.
Egg Nagasaki.
I was
Beautiful there.
Joey, you get a point in my heart for that. I
Thank you.
promise you a point in this game.
Okay.
Thank you.
You get 1 Marissa dollar, which means nothing in the context of
Let me know if there's an auction later.
oh, Bach,
Girl.
Katie.
Edinburgh.
I'm so sorry, Marissa. I truly cannot see.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next one.
Girl.
Joey?
San Diego.
No. That's a no.
Not Santiago. Oh, Santiago. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
Bach.
Well, Joey got it again, so 0 points for Team Girl.
I
Santiago.
get to keep
I
talking.
feel like we should maybe give a point for that because I feel like San Diego and Santiago are both very good answers to that question.
Okay, great. We'll give a point. It's still,
Thank you.
it's 17 to 11. Here we go. Next one.
Eight Star Wars. I said it.
Oh, girl.
Joey.
Honolulu.
That's correct.
You do not know what I was thinking.
Okay, next one.
Oh, Bach,
Katie.
Barcelona.
Correct. Next one.
I don't know what that is.
This one makes me laugh so hard.
Oh, Bach,
What's the dude?
Scott?
Morocco.
Yes. His name is Mo Rocca.
Oh, I was like, what?
Okay.
Elegant.
Is this anything or is this a mistake?
Oh, that's a mistake.
Is it a mistake? Do we make mistakes in this game? Who knows? We glossed past it. Anyways, we don't need to go to a tiebreaker because Joanna's team won. So we are going to go to second banishment. Joanna, Katie, Erica, and Scott cannot be voted for. At risk are Joey, Jody, Keith, and Tommy.
Well,
Okay.
Who? Oh, okay, great.
I know we just gotta stay in the car and keep moving. I know it feels like we all want to take a break, but we can't, and I'm sorry. It's hard to even figure out what questions to ask because it was almost like this weird team challenge. But I guess Jody, I'll start with you. Did you have a plan for if we went to second banishment?
With so many days left, meaning not a lot of days left, I assumed there would be something like this on the brain. Did I think it was going to be tonight? No. So I'm still freaking out over the rocks thing, to be honest. Like, I can't believe that just happened. So now I have to focus my attention to a double banishment and checking Slack and back and forth. So yeah.
So, Scott, you're safe, so you can't go home, but it almost was you. Are you foreseeing, we have an even number, are you foreseeing potentially a rock situation again?
I hope not.
Okay, Keith, are you nervous that since you almost went home?
Well, first, I'm so shook that the rocks thing even happened. Yeah. I'm very, very nervous. I'm gonna go ahead and just argue a point that I have, I guess, already, because I feel like I'm probably at stake. Clearly, I'm not good at these challenge things. I don't know how y'all even got a lot of those things. So I guess an argument for why I should not be voted out is, again, you have the opportunity next time, more likely than not, given how my performance has been during these things. But yes, I am nervous that it could be me. I don't know what to say. If it is, like, I had a fun time. If it's not, I'm loyal to whoever saves me tonight, obviously.
Oh, interesting. So I'm just gonna cut up more paper for votes, guys. I forgot to prepare for the second banishment.
Such a mood.
I also forgot to bring in jury. So if Nicholas and Micah are still here and want to join us again. Hi. So Erica, Keith is willing to wheel and deal a bit, be a for sure thing in the pocket. Are you entertaining said offer at all?
Yeah.
So
I mean, my door is always open. And I think that's the fun chaos of this game, is that everything changes in a flash and you just have to adapt to each new situation. So it's best not to close doors if you can.
So Katie, are you concerned off of that earlier banishment? Nicholas and I talked about, like, eventually there comes a time where someone might be immune who you were planning to vote off, and then things start to have to turn inward. Is that something you're seriously thinking about and trying to plan for in the future?
I mean, not that specific situation, I guess. I'm gonna think about it now. Okay, look, I came into this without really having watched very many sort of like competition reality shows of this nature where people are voting each other off. So I am sort of learning as I go what various strategies are, how people are doing things. I came here to make friends. I'm learning that I have to do two things. So I feel like every day I learn a new thing of like, oh, right, of course I should be thinking about that. So now I am thinking about that. I don't know. I'm really just like processing as we're talking.
We're all live processing our feelings together.
Yeah.
Joey, you're the only OG Royal left standing.
I know, and looks like from the likes of it, I think, yeah, not looking very good.
But
right
also, you could argue you got no alliances you got to stay true to.
That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, right. I think it's definitely an interesting strategy to put the three royals, first three, in the jury right now, right? And just let the three of them kind of hang out and be talking and stuff. I don't know. It's an interesting strategy. I am free. My Slack is open. I'm reading all messages that are coming in at this point right now. But it's looking like my name is definitely going to be written down. I don't know how many times. I mean, there's only a few people that were even like really participating in the challenge. I mean, it was definitely like like, you know, and there was only a few people that were like doing stuff. Everyone else has been kind of on their Slack or on their phone. But, and I get it. It's a tough game, and there's a lot of stuff going on. But I think, yeah, it's definitely an uphill battle for me right now. But I think, sorry.
No, I have 2 follow-up questions. One being, do you think during that challenge people were strategizing?
Yes.
Oh, so people weren't even paying attention to the challenge. They were fully just trying to figure out the next move. I see Keith laughing at that.
Not everyone, but I think some people were. I think that's it was a fair move. I just, like, in my mind, I was like, the best thing to do is to do well at the challenge. And I do appreciate the people that were on my team who could have like blatantly thrown it, and they didn't. They tried. Like they like put in their effort, right, to get points, and I appreciate that. They did.
Sure. So my second follow-up question is, you just said if you go home tonight, it's 3 royals forming the jury. And it feels like there's been a targeted effort to get royals to go home. So I'm curious about, like, okay, that's 3 votes right there.
Right.
Are we thinking these votes are going to be kind when we get to the final banishment, since they were targeted?
I'm not going to speak for Micah or Nicholas because they can't speak right now, but I will say that I think maybe I have the shortest memory of the 3 of us, but I think that, like, I think maybe I'm more forgiving. I don't know about the other 2. So I just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think it just like, I think in general, this is what I'm looking at. I mean, I might as well just say this now, right? There's 8 of us left, and there are a couple people who look like they could actually win this thing, and there are a lot of people who don't. Like, and it's not, everyone is, I really do love and like have had good conversations with all of you. This is nothing against you as people. I really, really do like you as people, but just like as who the winner would be, it's just like, it's just a tough situation. So I think it's like, this would be the time to like make a move if you're looking for an extra number. I don't know why people have just been so short-sighted to getting into 7, like to get to like, and if I go, right, you got to 7, like, we were at 10 and you got to 7. It was like, there were just so many opportunities where groups could have got themselves to 5, 6, making like final 3 deals. And maybe those people within those groups do feel like that, but I can tell a lot of people are on the outside. The person who voted me the last time, I mean, was a solo vote. They were the person who was clearly not told about it, because like, why, or someone went off on them, right? Like, why would someone just vote me solo? And then there's stuff going on in the last one too. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I see. So you're speaking to the person who wrote your name down, not at last banishment, but the one before, to point out to that person that they were on the outs and unaware of what was going on.
Yeah, there was definitely like an idea that they were going to split the votes, and they like somehow that switched and stuff. There's no reason for an intentional split of what would be 5 on Micah, 1 on me, and then let like 3 vote. I mean, that just, maybe if they thought that like there was idols, that a lot of idols and stuff, and the 1 vote would have been enough to get me out, but probably not. There should have been someone voting with that person. I don't know. And it's like, I'm such an easy vote for the next one, right? Like, it's like, we're at 8. You could vote me out at 7. You can vote me at 6. There's not a chance in hell I'm making to like the finals. So I'm not, I'm like, I can't even make the paper hat. It's not like I'm gonna, win every immunity this whole way through. I think, why not? This would be the time to make a move. We had a fun night. It's double banishment. We went to Rocks.
Joey, what do they call lawyers in court? I forget.
Oh, you're saying like litigators?
Yeah, litigator. Do you rest your case? Can I move to a new question to someone else? Or
yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to know if you relinquish your time.
I do. I'm not going to reclaim my time. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. All compelling stuff. It's just I do have to service some other people here. We've been here for over an hour, almost an hour and a half. I just got to keep things going. Tommy, you don't look as anxious as you normally do, but you are one of the 4 people at risk tonight. Are you feeling safe and secure?
No, I have just found out how to not gag every time I'm anxious anymore. That's all.
Just fighting the urge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Joanna, for that challenge, obviously your team did really well. What went into choosing who was going to be on that team with you?
How to answer that question. People that I thought would do really good with a challenge like that.
Okay. Were you factoring in like, if my team loses, there's someone on here who I think would be good to go home, or I think would be convincing for people to vote out?
Yeah.
Who is that person? Interesting. Okay. Okay. Scott, it feels like well, we moved on, Joanna. You didn't want to tell me who. I have to move on.
Please.
Okay, great. Scott, do you think she was referring to you? Since your name was written down so much in the last banishment.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Can you repeat what?
Yeah, Joanna, I asked her how she chose her team, and she said she chose people based on who would be good in the challenge, but also I asked, was there someone that then...
Oh, wait, no. I misunderstood. Sorry.
Classic Joanna, misunderstood.
Oh, God, my husband's never going to live this down. Let me correct myself. What I thought you meant was, did I pick people on my team? I can't... Listen. Did I pick people on my team? What went into it? I said people that I think would do well at the challenge. And then I thought you were talking about the opposite team. Did I think there was someone there that I would have chosen to possibly go home? And so that's what I was saying.
So you're saying on your team, had you guys lost, there would have been no one you would have wanted to go home?
No, not really. Why? No, we're all going to go home, right? But
well, no, that's not how the game works. But
well, all but one.
All but some number in the final end. But
what?
Sure.
More than one person that can win this game.
Yes, there's only one that can win this game, but people don't go home. There's a final battle. Okay, you know what? I feel like, yeah, Keith, your face right now is how I feel in my brain.
A mood, right?
What's happening? Okay, so Jody, it looks like you're on Slack. Are you still figuring out your plan?
am.
Oh, are you figuring out your plan?
Yeah, I just don't want to leave the game we're playing.
What's that mean?
I don't want to be eliminated from Quarantine Island Season 4 tonight.
You sound so disingenuous when you say that.
I'm just like, I need to be thrown off of a bridge and then picked up by a serpent in the sea and then wake up a couple of days later. I am all over the place.
So, Joey, I have to, you have something you want to say, but I also have a question for you.
Perfect.
Do you want to say your thing first?
Oh, yeah, I was just saying, I'm just like at this point thinking if it's going to be like a 7-1 vote, and any person who votes with me, like who throws a vote like with me on my side tonight, like if it's 6-2, like I hand to God that person's getting my vote at the end, million, guaranteed. Like you vote with me, like you're on the thing. If you're not, and if it's 7-1 and I'm like by myself, that's fine. And I'm like kind of tempted to just maybe like draw one of the 3 names out of a hat or something at this point. Like, you know, it's so people who vote, I'm just saying people who vote with me, I'm definitely going to the jury this time, next time, time after that. So if you want to vote with me on my side, I guess tonight.
Joey, I do want to ask one question because each banishment, I'm throwing people under the bus because it's how you guys are responding. I'm holding you guys accountable. Joey, I see that you're reading Slacks, but I'm still going to talk to you.
I can do both. Sorry, I'm listening.
No. I guess what I'm saying is you are really fighting for your life here, right? Like you're giving a speech, Keith has given a speech, and we just heard Katie talk about how she's doing this game to make friends. Does that bother you at all when you hear that, when you consider that there are people really trying to play this game, win this game?
No, Katie's a nice person, and I don't think she's like, it doesn't bother me that she says that. There is a different level, though. I was thinking about this with earlier, with just other different people, where different levels of stress, and I think it was like Erica made the comment about like thinking like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 steps down the line, and it is funny because I do think it's like, I can't think that far in advance, because I can't, like, it's like thinking about one thing. It's like when you talk about different people about you need like your basics in society, like your food, your shelter, and water. You can't think about the other stuff if you don't have those basic things. So like, unless I'm here, I can't think about like making the top 6, 7, 8, you know. For me, I'm just like survival.
Okay, Katie, you seemed you wanted to respond.
Yeah, I just want to say I like I started to play this game to make friends. That's not like what I would like to make friends and win.
I just go off what you guys say.
Sure.
Joanna has learned to say less, so I can hold her accountable for less, which I love.
I actually, when I heard about this show on Good Morning America, that was the actual thing that they advertised. They said, make friends in quarantine. And yeah.
Do you feel that you're doing that? I hope.
Yeah.
Joanna, it's just a game. It's just during this. Okay, it is going to be time to vote. When I say your name, you're going to Slack me directly with who you'd like to vote for. Katie, please Slack me. Erica, please Slack me. Tommy, please Slack me. Joanna, please Slack me. Scott, please Slack me. Jody, please Slack me. Joey, please Slack me. Keith, please Slack me.
Wait, did you say me? Oh, I never hear my name. It's like it gets cut off.
Keith.
Because it's one syllable.
Okay, I'm gonna ask that those, it's weird, but those four lovely people to hold out their phones and their lights. Before I read the names, are there any idols that anyone would like to play? No, okay. Once I read the votes, the decision is final. That person's quarantine will be up and they will be banished. First vote, Keith. That's one for Keith. Next vote, Joey. That's one for Joey. Next vote, Keith. Two for Keith, one for Joey. Next vote, Jody. That's one for Jody, one for Joey, two for Keith. Next vote, Keith. That's three for Keith, one for Joey, one for Jody. Our third member of the jury is Keith. Keith, I'm sorry. You have been banished from the island. Is there anything you'd like to say before I let you go?
No, this has been such a crazy experience. Like, honestly, and like the producers probably can vouch for it, I was very iffy about playing. Like, my CBS Survivor experience was like, it's of course was like a dream of mine. And it did a lot of good for me, but it like also left a lot of like scars and baggage after that I still kind of carry. Like, I have depression or anxiety before any of that. So a lot of this can kind of like, be triggering for me. And I feel like I'm consistently like fighting battles that are like perceptions of me based on like what a TV show like, put on me. Right. But I really do value having been a part of this, because I feel like with this kind of stuff, like I'm still reinventing myself and like proving to myself like, hey, you can play a game. Like, okay, like some challenges on the show didn't go your way, but like you can play this type of thing, and that, you can do the social experience. Like, yeah, you're an introvert, you're all this stuff, but you can still do this, and I feel like I'm still reinventing myself, and changing a perception of me from outside, but also changing like my self perception of me. And so like I really do value having the opportunity to play this, but also playing with amazing people. um I'm kind of speechless and a loss for words. Like, I really do cherish this. I'm so thankful. I value this experience, all of this. That's all I really have to say, is that thank you for giving me a chance to reinvent myself. For me, like, first priority for me.
I hope that you saw, like, you killed this game. You did so good. I think everyone would say that. The fans are going crazy. Like, you did better than anyone could have ever expected. You played so tremendously. You were such an asset. You were so fun to have. My dad's name is Keith, but you are now my favorite Keith, and I'm okay with that. Let this live on the record. I'm fine with that on YouTube. No, it has been such a blessing having you play. I remember Carter telling us, like, I think Keith from season 38 is going to play. And we were like, whoa, really? So for you to just like be willing to test this out, try with us, means so much to us. And we're so happy to have you be a part of this community. And we are here to support you. And we are here to believe in you and remind you how much of a badass player you are. And okay, I know.
Can I also speak to something else that I literally just slipped my mind? Like, thank you as well for like allowing me to represent for something greater. Just because like we're seeing it even with the movement today, like with a lot of the TV shows and a lot of such that are vouching for more representation, for allowing me to stand and represent for that, and like shouting out Joanna as well, because I was never going to put her name down because like we do stand for something greater. So thank you so much for giving me the chance to also stand for something greater.
Yes, and this show firmly believes that Black Lives Matter. This is a Black Lives Matter show. We encourage all of you to vote, to get out there, use your voice, use your privilege in whatever industry you're at. Thank you for reminding us of that, Keith. We have to support each other, support our community. We now know Joanna and Keith, and we want the best for them. Of course, we want the best for everyone. So yeah, I just want to end on the note of like, get out there, vote. It's important. Let's use our voices. Love y'all. Have a good night. Oh, and also Cam and Allison from season 3 will be on QI Reply tonight. Otherwise, love you all. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.